Try it right now. Run your own fingers along the bottom of your foot, or poke yourself in the side where you're usually most sensitive. Nothing happens. No squirming, no laughter, barely a reaction. Now imagine someone else doing the exact same motion in the exact same spot. You'd probably be on the floor. Same touch, same pressure, same location. Completely different result. Why? The answer isn't really about your skin at all. It's about prediction. Your brain is constantly trying to guess what's about to happen to your body, and when it comes to your own movements, it's almost always right. Here's the key idea. Tickling isn't actually a response to touch. It's a response to surprise. Specifically, to touch your brain didn't see coming. When someone else reaches out to tickle you, your brain has no advance warning. It doesn't know exactly when the touch will land, how hard it will be, or precisely where. That uncertainty is what makes the sensation so intense. Your nervous system reacts to the unpredictability, not just the physical contact. When you try to tickle yourself, your brain has full access to the plan before you even move. It knows you're about to move your hand. It knows the exact path your fingers will take. It knows precisely when contact will happen and how much pressure you're applying, because you're the one controlling it. There's no surprise left to react to. This comes down to a part of your brain called the cerebellum, tucked at the base of your skull. The cerebellum's job, among other things, is to predict the sensory consequences of your own movements. Every time you move any part of your body, your cerebellum generates a forecast of what that movement should feel like. Then it compares that forecast to the actual sensation arriving from your nerves. If the prediction and the real sensation match closely, your brain essentially cancels out the response. It treats expected sensations as less important, less worthy of strong attention, because they carry no new information. You already knew it was coming. This is sometimes called sensory attenuation, your brain dampening its reaction to self-generated sensations. And it's not limited to tickling. It's why you don't feel startled every time you scratch an itch. It's why your own footsteps don't feel jarring while someone sneaking up behind you would startle you instantly. Your brain has learned to filter out the predictable noise of your own actions, so it can stay alert for the unpredictable stuff that might actually matter. In the 1990s, researchers at University College London tested this directly. They built a simple robotic device that could deliver a tickling sensation to a participant's palm. In one condition, the participant controlled the device themselves, moving a lever that translated their motion into the tickle with no delay. In another condition, there was a slight time delay between the participant's movement and the resulting tickle. And in a third condition, someone else controlled the device entirely. The results lined up exactly with the prediction theory. When participants controlled the tickle in real time, with no delay, they rated the sensation as barely ticklish at all. But the moment researchers added even a small delay, as little as a fifth of a second, between the participant's action and the sensation, the ticklishness rating jumped dramatically. And when someone else controlled the device with no predictable timing, ticklishness was rated highest of all. That tiny delay is the whole story in miniature. Even though the participant was still technically causing the tickle, a small enough lag broke the brain's precise prediction. The forecast and the actual sensation no longer line up perfectly, and that mismatch was enough to let some of the ticklish sensation through. This reveals something important about how your brain works in general. It isn't just passively receiving information from the world and reacting to it. It's constantly running forward models, predictions about what's about to happen, and using those predictions to filter incoming sensory information. Expected events get muted. Unexpected events get amplified. This is efficient. Your brain has limited processing capacity, and it would be wasteful to react with full intensity to every sensation when most of them, especially the ones caused by your own actions, are entirely predictable. There's also a social angle worth considering. Some researchers have proposed that the ticklish response evolved partly as a social and developmental signal. Tickling typically happens between people who are close to each other, parents and children, friends, partners. The laughter and squirming triggered by tickling may have helped strengthen social bonds and may have played a role in early childhood development, teaching infants to recognize touch, anticipate contact, and engage in playful social exchange. If that's true, then the inability to tickle yourself isn't a flaw in the system. It's a feature. The whole mechanism may be built specifically to respond to other people, because the evolutionary purpose was never really about the physical sensation of touch. It was about connection. There's an interesting edge case here, too. People with certain conditions affecting self-monitoring or the sense of body ownership sometimes report being able to tickle themselves or experiencing self-touch differently than most people do. Some research into schizophrenia, for instance, has explored disruptions in the self-prediction system, since some patients show altered responses to self-generated sensations more broadly, not just tickling. This doesn't mean tickling itself is diagnostic of anything. It's simply a window into a much deeper system your brain runs constantly, mostly outside your awareness, distinguishing the world's actions from your own. So the next time someone tickles you and you can't stop laughing, remember what's actually happening underneath the giggling. It's not really about your skin sensitivity. It's about your brain's forecasting failing in exactly the right way. Someone else's hand introduces a small, irreducible element of surprise that your own hand simply can't replicate, no matter how hard you try. You're not bad at tickling yourself. Your brain is just too good at knowing what you're going to do next.